What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. And I know that things might be a little different right now, but hold on one second. All right. I don't know. I think the other one might have been better. But anyway, this video is about ReiSift. What if I told you that there was a software out there that almost nobody is talking about, really? I don't really see it like posted, but it's a list stacking tool that I know a lot of people use, batch, but this one is ReiSift. I'm going to introduce you today. Let's start out with the newbies. Right? What is list stacking? What we do is we take one vexation, right? I know. One problem, you take one problem and you stack it on top of the next problem. So think about it like this. Let's say we're pulling foreclosures. Say, 1,000 foreclosures, something like that. And then we pull another list, and this list is going to be the vacant properties. Well, what this software does is it puts them together, and then it looks for the vacant foreclosures. And then so now that gives you 2 layers of the stress, 2 layers of motivation, and you can focus on just them before going on to the other ones with lower motivations. So enough talking. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on one second. So before I jump right into it, I've been using this software for about 2 years. Now, let me tell you something. When it comes to cleaning up the data, that's not something that everybody wants to do, but it's something that you got to do, right? So we might as well get it done in the most efficient way possible. I've seen people do Google Sheets. I've seen people use Podio. But honestly, I'm going to show you some of the features here. If you guys like it, check it out for yourself. I mean, they have free demos. You can use my link. And if you use my link, I'll actually show you how to use this and get even better on organizing all of this. But before I start that, if you like this video, just do me a favor, like, share, all of that stuff. Let's check out the first page, and it's the dashboard. So let me move my screen over to the side a little bit. So in the records here, you'll see that I'm allowed every month to upload up to 10,000 new records every month. And then when you upload those records, you have a couple of cool features right here on the front. And you might notice right off the rip is the vacancy ratio, right? So we have 12% are vacant records, right? Out of the total number of records that I have, only 12% are currently vacant. Now, the vacancy status, that's what happens every month on the on the 3rd of the month, is they will go through all of your records to see if a new property had become vacant. What? So every month when you log in, you'll see exactly how many new records became vacant in the last 30 days. In the last 30 days, right? So you'll be first to reach out to these people. Then you have the total number of records. But if we go down here, we have the records with numbers and then records without numbers. Here's why this is super important. Because if you do like 99% of everybody else, you take this list, let's say it's 5,000 records, you put it into your skip tracer, right? You give it to your guy, they come back with all the records, and then some of them don't have phone numbers. Well, what do you do? What you do is you take all of those phone numbers, or all of those you take all of those records, put them into the system, then you start calling them. You don't even think about the ones that didn't have phone numbers, right? You don't even think about it. You just, whatever. When you skip trace and you don't find any phone numbers, guess what? If you skip trace a second time, you just took one extra step that the other guy didn't take, which means you're going the extra mile for this deal, right? And when that happens, that's where you find the gold. So You got the total with numbers, you got the total not skipped, and then you have the total skipped without the phone numbers too. So take those records, run them through a second skip trace service, and now you mark them with both of those skip trace services. So let's say you used batch and you also used prop string, right? But both of them, now this record has both of those tags on there. So you know that you went the extra mile for that phone number, more steps than the other guy would take. Okay, anyway, and that's just the dashboard. So let me show you the records and how they work. So remember, we take the number of vexations or the number of problems that the person is facing, and then we reach out to those specific high value clients or those high value opportunities. So let's take a look at my screen. These are some of the records that I have in here. And right now you can tell that this person here, if you scroll over, they appear on 6 different lists. And what does the list mean? The list is just the problems. So it's going to be, is it vacant? Is it a pre-foreclosure, right? Is this a tired landlord? All of these things, and you can see this person appears on 6 different lists. Would I not reach out to this person first, right? Instead of somebody who is only on one list, which might be like a liens list or a code violation list. They have very little motivation, right? Maybe they didn't cut their grass that month, right? But if you're looking for the most amount of problems, you reach out to these guys, right? You can see this is 6, 6, 5. And you might be saying, like, what does the lists mean? Well, let me show you. The list is totally up to you. But right now, these are all the lists that I have, right? The code violations, divorce, driving for dollars. We got 4 more pages. 4 more pages of lists, right? And you can put them in every one of those. Your list might be shorter, it might be longer, right? But it allows you the chance to really filter through this information. Now, what does this information look like? Well, I'm glad you asked, right? Because I've been using the REI Reply or the Go High Level for a long time. And when I use this, you might have seen a couple of videos in the past where I had REI Reply working with ReiSift. And the reason is because these records go so deep into the information. Let me show you just one. So here is where everything is listed. I mean, just look at the layout. The layout is just awesome, right? And what we have is we have the address. We have the opportunity to map here. Right, so we could tell exactly where the property is, make it a little easier to see. Let's talk about it. So we have the property overview. How many times did we try to call? How many times did we try to mail? The SMS, the RVMs, all of that stuff. The information that we need kind of at a glance is right here. Now, it also integrates with smartphone. So if you go over here, click the button, you can get a phone call right here from the system. You don't even have to leave the system in order to make those calls. But this record right here, you can see has 6 different phone numbers. And out of those 6 phone numbers, it looks like 4 of them have been called, right? And you could tell by the tag here. See, this one was texted. This one was a wrong phone number. This one was call attempt 1. And all of these, you could choose no answer, DNC, dead, wrong number, or correct. Now, here's the best part about finding a correct phone number, or a lot of people think I'm crazy because when I find somebody that's not interested, that is awesome for me Because when I find somebody who's not interested, what do? Right? They just confirmed that that's their correct phone number. And now I can go in and remove these 5 other phone numbers. I can remove all those other phone numbers. Now I don't have to call them again. I don't have to text them again. And because I use this to hold all my data, now when I go back to reach out to them, this is the only phone number that I'm going to reach out to. Forget all of the other ones. Right? And that's for every single account. You can add in, you can see how many lists they're on. You can add tags to them, right? You even get reminders down here for your assigned tasks. And they just, about a year ago, they added ReiSift line, which is just the Kanban view of the pipelines that REI Reply or Go High Level has. Right? Works the same way. Now, I will say this, though. They do have sequences where you can do automations, but it's not that great. So keep that in mind, right? But other than that, the software is A1 top level. So when you guys get a chance to check this out, use my link that's going to be below. If you sign up for it, shoot me a quick email and we'll jump on the line and I'll show you exactly how to get this organized the way that you need to get it organized in order to stop wasting money calling these bad phone numbers, right? I mean, if it's a dead phone number, what do? Hey, do you tag it right now? Probably do, right? Well, if you tag it and it's marked in here, you won't ever have to worry about reaching out to them again. And you can see that it just looks, I mean, look at it. It looks great. So, guys, didn't want to take up too much of your time, but if you enjoyed this video, go like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Guys, I'll be back to you. Thanks so much for watching the video. I'm out. Hey, let's get an outstanding understanding, okay?